song about a woman. Still runs through my head from time to time. And it starts out awful low, just a guitar that's strumming slow. And a singer who sounds like he's about to die. Once read a book about a young man born into but lost all of his wealth. He's so proud of all his charm and never got him very far. In the end I cried, I only know myself. This is life, this is love, trying not to give up when everything hurts and it just gets worse. And I'll work until I finally break, 'cause this is life. Sat down and drank beside an old man who spun a tale of love and war in time. He said there's no use regretting, so we drank to just forgetting. We couldn't drink away the sorrow in his eyes. When I'm old I won't much think about the weather. That thick skin, it's all the same. So I keep on trudging on, and I'll be humming that song in the snow or in the sunshine or the rain. This is life, this is love, this is trying not to give up when everything hurts and it just gets worse. And I'll work until I finally break. Yeah, this is life, and this is love, and this is trying not to give up when everything hurts and it just gets worse. And I'll work until it finally breaks. Yeah, this is life. Heard a song about a woman, still runs through my head from time to time, and then ends up awful low, just a guitar, it's strumming slow. Got a singer who sounds like he's about to die.
So that song was called This Is Life, and it actually started out as a song. I started writing it about 10 years ago, and it was called Love, War, and Time. And it's just a song about those things, you know, the real struggles and the stuff that ages us, the stuff that you know, puts miles on us and makes us take things a little lighter than we used to. And so I wrote those verses, and I was playing them for a long time. I do them in shows at open mic nights, you know, play it on the Commons a lot. And people really liked it, but it never had a chorus. So it wasn't a song I was ever going to put on an album. And about 2 months ago, I actually was in the shower and I was humming it, and it just popped into my head. And I knew instantly that that was the perfect chorus for it. So I turned the shower off. I didn't even grab a towel. I just ran out and picked up my guitar, and I sat down and pulled out my little recorder on my phone, and I just played it until I at least had the sound of it. I didn't have the words for it or anything yet. I just knew where it was going. And within about 20 minutes, I had the thing all together. So I set up my studio real quick, and so I'm sitting there naked in my recording studio working on this song, because you just, when you do have, I try not to rely on inspiration. I try to be able to actually say it's time to work. But when you do get that surge of inspiration, you got to run with it. You got to ride that wave, because you don't know when it's going to come back. And so I just grabbed that one by the horns, and I released it as a contest entry instead of as an album song. I submitted, this is my first songwriter contest thing, but the West Coast Songwriters Contest, which is funny because I live on the East Coast, but they're an international thing, so it works. But I get to meet Ed Sheeran if I win. I'm very, very, very proud.
God, after all, when nothing is sacred, here and now that the field has shattered the lens, and it's soaking in cold, and it's rain in the streets, or shine in the skies, and wandering truth covers up lies that make him believe you might not forget what you told her. Too bad for you, the things that you lose are turning up in other people's houses, and the things that you do to find something new, you're waking up in other people's houses. Yeah, it's too bad for you. And holding your breath, after all, no, nothing's less sacred. Hearing your burnout to feel you're shy of the lens, and you're sick of the cold, and it's rained here for weeks, and you're biding your time, and you're wandering through the time of your life, and you're making believe you might not forget what you told her. Too bad for you, the things that you lose are turning up in other people's houses, and the things that you do to find something new, you're waking up in other people's houses. Yeah, it's too bad for you. For you, the things that you lose are turning up in other people's houses, and the things that you do to find something new, you're waking up in other people's houses. Yeah, it's too bad for you.
That one was
called Other People's Houses.
Yeah.
And you could tell us a little about it.
You know, it was about a bad breakup, and it wasn't so much about the breakup. It was about the understanding that everybody involved in that breakup has a future and is going to go off and start over. And so it's about that moment of understanding that the thing that you lost is going to end up in someone else's house, and it's not yours anymore, and you have to let it go, and you know you're going to find something new, and you're going to wake up in someone else's house too, and so it's really about that search for who you are after, and at the same time letting the other person be who they are, and start their own fulfilling separate life. And I think that with today's culture of dating has changed a lot since even when I wrote that song. And in the last 2 years, I'd say a good half of men in our country have had a reckoning of some sort, about how they approach dating, how they let go. And because men have been really possessive. I might come from a half a generation before you, and man, the things that I learned from the men that were in my life as a child, the way I saw them handle their relationships and handle their heartbreaks, and there was jealousy, there was rage, there was finger pointing and blaming, and everything ended up on being aired dirty laundry, and it's awful. And so Other People's Houses was about realizing what was right, what is the right way to deal with that, and yeah, it hurts. The first line, it says, "Hell of a fall, died after all, nothing is sacred here," and it was just that ripping the scab off, and really just feeling what's actually in you during those times, because those, all of those caustic things like jealousy and the rage that so many men feel at the end of a relationship, when they don't feel like they're getting their way, and it's part of rape culture, but those are very real things that people deal with.
On a different note, could you tell us about this Vinegar Williams pseudonym?
Yeah. So everybody's like, well, why did you pick Vinegar? What does it mean? And honestly, this is awful. It means nothing. But
you hear that a lot with musicians.
Yeah, well, it can mean a lot of things. Like vinegar tastes bad. It leaves a bad taste in your mouth, but it's good for you. Yeah. It's the bad medicine. Nobody wants to take it, but you're better because you did. And it sucked. It's like exercise. But also, I was raised in a really religious home, so I know way too many things about Jesus. And the last thing that touched his lips before he passed away was a sponge full of vinegar, because he said that he was thirsty, and somebody put a sponge full of vinegar on a stick and put it up on his mouth, and that's what he had to drink. And so it was almost compassion, but at the same time not. It was backhanded compassion, and I thought that was a really cool, literary concept, at least.
Yeah, I like that. It's a cool dichotomy. There's a musician I listen to called Lady Lamb the Beekeeper. And when I think about a beekeeper, it's like someone who holds on to things that hurt, but because they might yield like a bit of sweetness. It's kind of like a similar.
Yeah, it's like putting salt on something sweet.
Right.
And Williams, because my name is not Williams. My name's Chris Everson, and well, it's just such an uncommon name, Everson, and Well, I'm an idiot, and musicians, if they're any good at being a musician, most of the time they're also idiots. And so what happens is their families get dragged into their idiocy. You know, you get a big name, and suddenly everybody else in the world with that name now has to bear the burden of the dumb thing you did. You were asking earlier how I would compare what I'm doing now to what I was doing back in my college days.
Or what you were listening to and what you're listening to now.
Well, back in my, 18 to 22 phase, at 18 I found The Counting Crows, August and Everything After. It was a perfect album. Everything on it was flawless, and I still to this day love it. And so that's really where I was coming from at 18. But then by the time I was 19, 20, I had joined a metal band, which is completely polar opposite of what I do now. But I still, like in a lot of my recordings, there's that electric guitar that comes in, like a lot of power stuff, heavy drums. Like I really do still write that way, but the main problem is that I'm a solo artist and I cannot absolutely for the life of me perform a metal song on stage. So like the song that I played earlier, This Is Life, I have 4 or 5 versions of that song recorded. One's really soft and pretty with harmonies, and one is actually a pretty hard rock song with like shredding, blinding leads and heavy drums and a
like
thumping bass.
Almost a similar story to the Avett Brothers.
Yeah, I love them. I
Love them too.
I learned so many of their songs.
They started out as their heavy metal band.
I never heard their metal stuff.
Yeah, it was when they were in their like teens and 20s. It was in the documentary, and they shifted over to what they do today, and now they still write multiple versions of their songs. Some albums have 2 versions of the same song. Good.
Then I don't feel bad about what I do then, because actually I brought you a CD. It's in there.
Thank you.
I do this thing at my shows because I refuse to let a venue charge a door fee to come see me play, because I don't want their actual regular customers to not come in because they have to pay $5 to get in. So instead, I put out a box of CDs and just a little sign that says, leave a tip, take a CD. And I made really good money off of it. So I put together a really good CD, and it's just a burned CD in a plastic jewel case with magic marker on it. And it's 17 original songs, and one of them is on there 3 times because I loved all 3 versions of it so much that it just had to be there. Actually, the next song I do for you, I'll do that one. It's probably the one that I'm most well known for at this point. It's called Other People's Houses. It's
I heard that one on YouTube.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I saw the video.
Hold on, was I wearing a fedora in that video?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was 2010, I want to say. Yeah. My buddy Joel, he owns I'm not sure what he's doing with it anymore, but it's called Viral Films, and he's a amateur filmmaker who actually learned a lot of stuff. He made a couple of zombie movies, and he got some new cameras and wanted to test them out, and so he just dropped a line to me and asked if I wanted to put together a couple of videos. So I did 2 of them with him, and they came out really cool. But they're actually on his page. I don't get to monetize those, and it makes me sad. But he put in a lot of work for those, and so I figure I can re-record those songs and make videos all myself. I'll let him have those. He put the effort in. And he offered for free. Like, it was just a thing between friends who hung out at a coffee house together. I'm terrible at darts. I actually I don't do bar sports except pool. Pool I can do because I'm really big and I can lean over half the table. It's a very unfair
and everyone's just intimidated anyway.
Right. I can't play against the giant. Although what they don't know is that my hair gets in the way and I can't see what I'm doing. All right, so Travis Knapp has 33 points.
Yeah, you get all 6 darts.
Travis, I'm very disappointed you. All right, you know, and I say that now. Watch, it's going to be terrible. All right, we got 10. Well, that was terrible.
Yeah, you gotta give us some oomph.
Yeah.
That's what happened to Travis.
Oh, yeah, bouncing darts.
Yeah.
All right. Got a 14. Man, you got some curly tips here.
Yeah, I gotta replace this.
Oh man, it's like a carnival thing, where it's designed to fail. Ooh, a triple 3. I'm still not in the lead. I gotta land this dart. 2.
So we've got 10, 30, 10, 24, 26, and then 35?
So we got 9. Oh no, that's a 14.
Yeah.
So 24 and 9 is 33, and 2, 35. I won.
You beat him. So you are now number 1 in the dormitory sessions.
Wow.
Dart.